straight by pirates or whoever. And you know the other thing about Israel. So basically, any conflict, they're going to close that Strait of Hormuz because basically everybody in the Middle East does oil business through the strait. So
have they ever closed it before?
That's a good question. I never really looked into that.
They closed it a few times before, and we had to go to war with them. A good example is Operation Praying Mantis in the 80s. There are other examples.
This guy never stops talking.
They're criminals. Yes,
so because you interrupt people, I'm going to interrupt you.
It's okay. That's fine.
Guys, please let's not. If we can not interrupt each other and just have some decorum and let the mods mod, that would be great. Let's go to Romero. I haven't seen. It's good to see you on the stage, my friend. Would you like a friend name at its ad?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're living in a weird world where Americans thought that the best option was a pedophile rapist who has absolutely no real religious beliefs, but wears it like a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think that we're talking about, how good it is this war in Iran is happening. The Strait of Hormuz was open before this war. Now it's going to be perpetually open and closed, open and closed, open and closed. Our energy prices are going to go up. The fertilizer, right? We get a lot of fertilizer from that part of the world. This is going to have ripple effects. And I think the United States has kind of cooked itself by putting itself in bed with the apartheid state of Israel. So if you want to do good things, if you want to be a good citizen, vote for practicality. Vote for somebody that's not going to get you into a war, that there's a quagmire war, probably the worst since Vietnam. And I didn't like Joe Biden either, but Joe Biden didn't take
anyone.
This is why Trump was elected, because people are idiots and they use slogans instead of thinking.
Like El Normo. El Normo thinks that it's okay to vote for pedophile, rapist, cannibals.
So who's a pedophile?
Donald Trump.
When was he a pedophile?
Most of his life.
When did that happen?
Have you not read any of the Epstein stuff?
No. Who did he commit pedophilia with?
Several children through Jeffrey Epstein.
Who? What children?
I don't know. Look it up, dude. It's not that difficult to look it up.
Hey, I don't want to litigate all the Epstein evidence right now. Although I think
El Normo does, because he wants to distract from the fact that he's a shitty person.
But Romero, Norm, let me talk. Norm, Romero, you said the quagmire thing with Vietnam. I mean, that would be if we put boots on the ground, right? So I mean, in some level, right, what you're saying is if we really wanted to do regime change or something, that we would get involved in the quagmire, right? I mean, at some level, we could just withdraw right now.
We could.
Right.
We could. Right, and it's already a disaster. We've wasted a lot of money. Those Tomahawk missiles cost a shit ton, right? Those drones that Iran uses cost pennies on the dollar.
It's about $50,000 per drone, and it costs about $2 billion per Tomahawk to shoot them down.
So, I mean, already we've invested a lot of military power that's gone to waste, right? Like, most of the bases in the Middle East are kind of wrecked. We had to take one of our defensive missile systems away from South Korea to throw it into the Iran situation after we lost the other one. So, I mean, this to me, like, if you put boots on the ground, it's going to be a bloodbath for America. The terrain in Iran is not favorable to a ground invasion. And really, the bombing of all these people, a lot of civilians and a lot of militants, hasn't changed the regime. You killed the head, but they killed the head, but Jesus fucking Christ, shut the fuck up, dude.
If you're not a mod, please let people finish.
So, already, Iran hasn't collapsed. They haven't greeted the Americans in open arms as liberators. right. So what have you won? What have we won?
Romero, do you think it's unusual, right? Because I think normally in a conflict like this, the strategy would be economic sanctions and other ways to weaken a regime, right? And then all this stuff would precede kinetic military action, right? But here, I mean, we've rewritten the playbook a little bit, right? It's bombing first.
No, we had sanctions on them already, Scott.
We did have some. We did have some. Yeah, we had some of their assets.
Yeah, and now to stop this war, to end this war, all those sanctions are going to go away.
But
Iran is going to get everything it wants.
Why would we go to war?
But I just want to say, I just want to know the odd word here. We bomb first, blockade second, ceasefire third. Now there are new economic measures fourth, which would seem that would be the front. And now, so I don't know what the next move is. Right? It is more kinetic military.
Well,
I don't know. I don't
Which
know.
is a good idea.
Let me ask you this, Scott. How many generals have quit in the last year from the U.S. military?
I don't know, but I'd be interested to know.
Yeah, look into it, man. It's kind of wild.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with y'all when it comes to that, Scott. But we have to not forget where this all started by freeing up that $6 billion of frozen funds that Biden's administration did. Hey, shut your bitch ass up and let me finish, bro. I've been very respectful. Like, you've been like taking shots at me in the chat, bro. I would break your jaw in real life, bro. Like, you gotta stop that shit. I hate when people that ain't like that in real life get on the internet and get to talking, bro. I would really fuck you up in real life, bro. Just relax.
Wow.
Thank you.
You got violence in here.
Please shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up.
Guys,
I just want respect because I give it. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah, just let's tone it down a little bit. But I do want to go, Dr. Washington. We'll get back to you. I want to go.
I was that other thing on stage. I need to speak though.
Okay, sure. I'm going to go first to Dow, my co-mod here, and welcome to the stage. Dow, thanks for modding with Denise and I here. And I wanted to see if you wanted to share anything, Dow, and then we'll go to Ben. Dow going once, Dow going twice. All right, we'll come back to my friend Dow. Ben, welcome. Would you like to share?
Yeah, I'm just upset at how we moved on so quick from the question that Denise asked Dr. I'm not gonna put Dr. in his name. Asked Washington about if the Strait of Hormuz has ever been closed, or if the Strait of Hormuz was closed before this happened. I think we just gave him a pass.
No, the answer is
that
yes.
question.
We answered that. The answer is yes.
No, please, I'm talking to Washington, not you.
I hear you.
Okay, so I think we just gave him a pass, which I'm sure he enjoyed, because that would have put him in a tough spot, because the data he's bringing on stage, he said $6 billion when it was actually $1.4 billion that was released to them, failing to say that Trump is about to release $20 billion.
It was
Failing to say that Trump is about to release $20 billion as part of striking a deal very similar to what Obama struck with Iran, the JCPOA.
It wasn't Obama, it was Biden. It was the Biden administration. You talking all this shit, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Doctor,
said that the
you were mad that you were getting interrupted.
The strait has
You were getting mad that you were interrupted, and now you're doing it.
Go ahead, Ben.
Same energy I got.
All right, thank you,
Go ahead,
Washington.
But Ben is not abnormal, dude.
Yes,
Brandon asked him a question and he answered it.
Yeah, please let Ben finish.
About to release $20 billion to get almost the same kind of deal that Obama struck with them, the JCPOA, in 2015. So the fact that these folks will sit here and it feels like they have a switch behind their neck that MAGA flips on the switch today, they switch their position, flips it up the next day, the position is switched. The fact that these same folks here will sit on stage and cape for a guy that campaigned on no new wars. I'm never going to start a new war with America. I'm never going to put America into a new war or forever wars. And now he's put America into this stupid war with Iran. Now they are caping for him and trying to justify it and trying to find reasons.
But you're not even from America, bro. Go back to your country,
if you
bro.
go back and check the number of
Christ,
reasons,
doctor, why are you
about to
on
laugh.
now?
2 seconds, I'm about to lie. If we go back and check the number of reasons that Trump has given the past maybe 50 days since this war has started, there's been over 12 different reasons that he has given. Yet these guys want to come on stage and justify it every day. Alan, what's your...
I think there are 4 reasons: no nukes, no ballistics, no sponsorship of terror, and no slaughtering your own people. Those were always the reasons. And it's weird that people didn't hear that.
Does the USA not slaughter people?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Fucking.
All right, let's go to Black Messiah. Black Messiah, welcome to the stage.
What a weird response. This is why Trump got elected, because people are completely uninformed.
Oh my god!
They live in a
He just a
fantasy world.
fucking talking piece for pedophile, rapist, cannibal. Oh my god!
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That's your
Guys,
team,
guys,
Normo.
please.
Your team pedophile.
We should address the pedophilia cannibalism.
Okay. Let's be grown-ups. Welcome to the stage. Can we let the new person speak? Go.
Black Messiah, would you like to speak? Black Messiah going once. Black Messiah going twice. All right, Daryl, are you back, my friend? Daryl Spivey, are you here?
Yeah.
Oh, Daryl, my dear friend, would you like to share? Thanks for modding with us, and would you like to opine on anything that's been said so far?
Yeah, it's that, to hear like Norm say that we were always given 4 reasons for
Yes.
this attack, that's
Before we attack,
hold
it's
on.
in writing.
Where's that in writing at?
In the reporting of the demand on the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide Corps before we attacked.
Where's that in writing? Where's the report?
Once again, well, New York Times for one, and every other newspaper for 2, and then every other broadcast outlet.
Are you just gonna let Scott? Are you just gonna let him filibust?
No, hold on. So,
Yeah.
no, hold on, because so what, Norm, what you're saying is
Yeah.
that we should listen to reporters as opposed to what the actual
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the president, the secretary of state, and the secretary of war all said these things over and over again. No nukes, no ballistics, no sponsorship of terror.
No, that's not.
Well, why are you stopping them though? You keep pretending not to know what they are.
When we actually went in, when we actually launched the attack in conjunction with Israel,
Yes.
we did not, our officials did not go out and name 4 reasons.
Yeah, they did. They did it before the attack.
What did Marco Rubio say? What did Marco Rubio say right afterwards?
There were 2 weeks of negotiations.
What did Marco Rubio say right after the first strike?
Rubio said no nukes, no ballistics,
No,
killing.
Rubio said that we got dragged into this by Israel.
No, he did not say that.
Yes,
That's a
he
lie,
did.
sir.
There's a fucking video about it, Normo. Are you guys just gonna keep letting him filibuster this room?
That is actually,
Daryl was talking.
Norm, unfortunately, Marco Rubio did say, he did make a statement that that they were told that Israel was going in, and so they had to go.
No, that's not what he told Daryl. I'm sorry.
There's a freaking video. Let me find the video.
Everybody's seen the
I
video.
think if I could say something, I think that this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. This is a trade-off. People have given up their character, their integrity, their honesty about events in exchange for the outcomes that they want. That's where we are. And so we have these conversations and we go back and forth and we argue objective reality. And it's kind of insane. It's just kind of insane. Say what you want. If you wanted to do it, you wanted to go to war with Iran. And so Israel and United States put their heads together. They decided to do it and they're doing it. But there's no need to rewrite history. Like,
That's true.
Whatever, let your yay be yay. Where I come from, we say it with our whole chest. Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. This is what you wanted to do, and so you did it. Israel has made this pitch to every president in modern times, and they all said no. And Trump was the first one to say yes.
They should have said yes.
Okay, if you back it, just back it. You don't have to revise history and tell us stuff that we know wasn't said. Change the sequence. This is why. This is why I know that this is not an argument about facts. This is an argument about a desire to have a certain outcome, irrespective of the facts. So you won this round. You got what you wanted. But I'm not gonna. I think it's ridiculous to kind of sit here and be like, they did say that. Marco Rubio didn't say that. Like, it's just ridiculous.
By the way, I put a Le Monde article. It's the first one that popped up that documents that Rubio did say we did it because of Israel's strike. And
well, that's not what he said either. There, though, Scott. Again, we're getting off topic. We're getting off the facts.
Yeah, we're always translating. You're always translating,
Normo is filibustering with lies.
There's always a translator.
The sky is red
all
when it's
those
blue.
words through a Norm translator.
Norm will tell you the sky is red when it's blue.
The slaughtering your own people in the sponsorship of terror. Now, when the question was why now?
Okay, so then let's depose Israel as well, right? They're slaughtering people. Let's depose them too.
Well, that's
and is a preemptive attack terror? Is a preemptive attack terror? Is a preemptive attack terror? Of course not. You know what you have? This is the problem you have. You have the Goldilocks problem.
We should have done it long ago.
So if someone preemptively strikes, if someone preemptively strikes the United States of America, if someone preemptively strikes the United States of America, what do we call that? Someone preemptively strikes the United States of America. What do we call that? We call that terrorism. We call that terrorism. So the 9/11 was a preemptive strike.
It wasn't a country.
So 9/11 was a preemptive strike by the Saudis.
Terror is non-state actors. You don't even know what words mean. This is pathetic.
Oh my God, El Normo.
Says the person that always has to translate everyone else's words.
Don't have to translate.
Don't be that.
You are a bad faith actor. You are a liar. You are a liar.
High integrity. What's your really?
I'm clear. To beautiful language. Try learning it. It's a magnificent.
Oh my God, you just don't know what fucking sentence it is.
Exactly.
That's how you sound, El
I know what
Normo.
it means when you say I'm gonna wipe
You sound like a fucking cartoon.
About cannibalism again.
Hey Scott, here's more about cannibalism. You guys jumping into one? I just played a video that.
Be careful who your heroes are, Norm. Be careful who your heroes
I
are.
don't have heroes. God is
I didn't tell.
Then, am I saying?
Ben, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me play the video that Scott is saying.
Can I jump in the queue after?
Oh wait, why don't we play the video where he says what nuclear myths are, like the nuclear?
Okay, let's one more time. Norm, you've spoken a lot. Why don't we let Ben hear you?
Okay.
Go after them before they launch those attacks. We would suffer higher casualties. We would see players killed, and then we would all be hearing.
Hold on, let me start it.
That's what we do no reason.
American good question. The first is why now? There's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders have been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it appeared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher
understand words. Only you can translate.
You yourself about whether you're an idiot.
What I heard there.
Nobody cares what you heard. You don't get to translate for all of us. We all speak English. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
Why do you guys let Zio-Nazis be on stage? Why?
Hey, I don't like the term Zio-Nazis. I don't think it's
I don't fucking care what you like.
I gotta go, guys. I have other things to do. Have a great day, Scott.
All right, nice to see you go. Why do you allow filthy anti-Semite Jew hater racists on stage who believe in cannibalism?
Right. So people who are against genocide are anti-Semites.
You don't know what genocide means. How could you be against it?
You anti-Semites have lost its entire meaning.
You don't know what genocide means. How could you be against it?
Okay, if you say.
I did say so. Tell us what it means.
And you're a fucking idiot. What's happening in Palestine is a genocide.
Tell us what it means. Okay, tell us what it means.
The intent to kill in part or in totality a people.
Okay,
that's what it means.
It was an intention, not an action?
It is both.
Oh, if Hamas says we intend to kill all the Jews and then they attack us, that's genocide, correct? Correct?
Who's carpet bombing Gaza?
I beg your pardon? Wait a second.
Who's targeting children?
Hamas says we're going to wipe out all the Jews.
Are Hamas sniping children?
Listen, don't try to run away.
Are Hamas sniping Israeli children?
They snipe their own children.
Are Hamas sniping Israeli children?
You gave a definition. Let's test
Are
it out.
Hamas sniping Israeli children?
Let's test it.
Does Hamas shoot Israeli children in the head?
Romero, are you getting nervous?
No, not at all.
Here's the question.
If you stop yapping like a fucking crazy person, we can have a conversation.
Okay, let's do that. So, did Hamas say they wanted to kill all the Jews?
I don't. Did they?
Yes.
Yeah, they have. They have.
In writing. And then did they
why is that? Why is that?
Why? Because they're genocidal, by your definition.
Oh, they're genocidal, but Israel's not genocidal.
I beg your pardon?
But Israel's not genocidal.
Israel is defending against the genocide.
Oh, come on, El Normo. You know that's not true. We've been watching it in 4K for 2 years.
You gave the definition.
Every doctor that has served in Palestine tells us about headshots and wound shots to children.
But wait a second. You gave a definition. Do you want to change it? Or do you agree with this?
I'm not going to play this game with you, dude. This is a stupid. It is a game.
There's no game.
This is filibustering. This is detracting from the point.
There's no filibuster. I'm waiting for your answer.
You're detracting from the point.
You know what Hamas said.
I don't care what Hamas said. It's about actions.
So you don't care. You know what they did? They fired 10,000 rockets at Israel. So they have the intention as stated, and they have so there's genocide.
How many people has Israel killed?
Why do you ask? You said it was an intention.
Yes, it is. What's the Greater Israel Project?
Why are you changing the subject?
Because it's actually on the subject. What is the Greater Israel Project?
The Greater Israel Project says that we will expand to Gaza and Judea and Samaria.
And what do you need to do before you expand into those territories?
Conquer them.
Well, you need to expel the people there one way or another, right?
Untrue. So anyway, getting back to your definition, untrue. So getting back to your definition of
El Normo,
El Normo, I have a question for you, El Normo.
Well, wait, I just want to finish my statement. Under your definition, Romero, Hamas was committing genocide. Now, how do we stop it? Because they attacked first. So
no, they didn't attack first.
Well, sure they did on October 7th.
No, they didn't.
Well, sure they did.
History did not start on October 7th.
Well, sure it started on October 7th.
No, it didn't.
Of course it did.
That's a crazy person logic. It did not start on October 7th.
It's literally what started it. We weren't at war before that.
Which date was the Romano one to start it, or whatever his name is?
What is mowing the lawn mean to you?
Which date does it start?
Why are you changing the subject?
Which date does it start?
We wanted to have a conversation.
What state started it? Israel. In 1948.
And
it has been doing it ever since. They've been fighting all of their neighbors. They have been harassing all of their neighbors that have been expanding into territory into all their neighbors.
So Romero, you're saying that Israel does not have a right to have a nation state.
No one has a right to have a nation state.
No one has a right to a nation.
No one. People have a right to exist. People have a right to exist. People have a right to exist. Countries do not. The United States doesn't inherently have a right to exist. Canada does not inherently have a right to exist.
We'll be ruled by Romero.
This is such hyperbole, dude. So
It is.
So you're saying when
I thought
states
we were
come into
discussing genocide, Romero.
so when states come into existence, though, Romero, right? Do they have rights to defend themselves? Do they have? I mean,
sure. So draw me a map of the Israeli border.
Okay, but
Take a look online. What's the difference?
But what the international community decided, right, in 1948, was that we're
So
going
to talk about international law. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
there was a state that was created, and their neighbors didn't like it, and attempted to
And they attack.
destroy that state.
That's a false narrative. That's a false
On May
narrative.
14th, Israel declared independence. On May 15th, 5 Arab armies attacked. 5 countries attacked one little country.
After Zionist terrorists have been causing havoc way before
after
that.
they declared independence.
No.
The day after.
No.
After the day, yes, after they declared
No
independence.
country has an inherent right to exist.
Well,
Many countries have come and gone in
I
history.
think countries have a right
People
So we have a
have a right to exist.
Yes.
People have a right to exist. Countries do not.
And they elect leaders.
Countries are
Those people have
governments.
a right to.
Countries are governments.
That's right. Countries are governments.
Hey guys, let's
People live in countries. This is such nonsense.
You are such nonsense. Dude.
Let's
Stop being such a
everybody-
fucker, dude.
let's go to McZed. McZed, my friend.
I would like to ask a question.
Okay,
Who would like to ask a question?
let's go to McZed first.
Wait,
McZed, are you there?
Someone's waiting.
Yeah, okay. Norm, can you just let me mod for a second here? All right, McZed going once, McZed going twice. All right, Shy, go. Oh, there you go, McZed. Hey, I haven't heard from you yet, buddy. Would you like to comment on anything that's been said, my friend?
Well, I was just listening for a second, but if Shay has a question, he can go first.
All right, Shy, why don't you go ahead and ask your question, my friend?
I just wonder, since Romero believes that states don't have the right to exist, I was just curious what his position was on why states actually exist.
Nations exist because they can
No, I said
exert
states.
force.
I said states. Not
Oh, like
nations.
individual states within a country?
No.
No, he said a state, like a
Like nation
A
states?
nation's different than a state, because you could be a nation. An
That's a good
indigenous
question.
people could be
What
a nation
exactly
without
is
other
a
states.
state?
Yeah, define that for me first.
Like, I come from New York State. We're members of the United States of America. I've heard of Israel as a state in the Middle East, which has multiple other states. What is a state?
Yeah, that's the question. He says the
Romero's
states
position
don't.
is genocidal. He believes that states should be destroyed. That's genocide.
Did I say that, El Normal?
Yes, you did.
No, I actually didn't say that. I said
states
that
don't
states
have the right
inherent.
to exist. That's genocide.
I said that states inherently, countries don't have a right to exist. People do.
That's genocide.
So don't twist my words, you fucking liar.
Okay, so why do you believe that? Why do you believe
That is not genocide.
Yes,
Amanda,
it is.
no, it's
Why,
not.
why do you
Of
believe
course
that
it is.
humans? Why do
No,
you
it's
believe
not. You
humans
fucking
wanted
liar.
to-
You want to destroy people's things?
No, I don't think
I didn't say that.
Norm, I don't think his position is genocidal. I do think it leads to So would you say the Ukraine, if Russia can overwhelm the Ukraine, might makes right? I mean, it's just countries don't have a right to exist, but if Russia can just annex Ukraine, then that's just the way it happens.
Tyranny,
Well, I mean,
genocide, no problem. And that's your moral position. Your moral superiority.
Norm, can you let him
Jesus
respond?
fucking
Can you let him respond?
Sure, yeah.
You know what, Scott? I'm done. Fucking El Normal is a piece of shit. I can't have a conversation with anyone if he's going to filibuster the whole time.
Pathetic, isn't it? Pathetic.
Yeah, you're pathetic, you motherfucker. You're pathetic. You're morally corrupt.
Norm, you're driving people away, my friend. You know.
I know that because I just give them a few facts and they fold like a cheap suit and run away. That happens all the time. It's good. It's good for you to see what a moral argument does to a lying piece of garbage like that, Scott. No offense to them.
Well, my line of questioning was in trying to understand why he believes that a country doesn't exist by having him examine.
Well, what's a country?
Why, well, that's the thing, right? Is that what is a country? A country is a place with borders.
I'll tell you what's much better defined than
Yeah, go ahead.
country or state is a city. You know when you're in a city.
Wait, what's the difference in a city and a country?
Oh, that's very easy. A city is a very tight geographic region of a particular municipal control within a broader region, supported always by suburban and rural areas beyond its borders. The city is almost definitively older than the concept of any kind of state. But that's what makes the concept of state and country a bit softer than the definition of city. City is far more precise than state, interestingly.
But right, you can have a city-state, yeah. But Ted, you're saying that the further you get above a city, the more of an abstract concept you get.
Well, it's technically like a philosophical, etymological, anthropological, historical question. Cities are the real history of like human mass organization, right? When they were out in the hinterlands and tribal plains moving nomadically, that was never a state. That was never an organization of any such size. Like maybe they had armies, I don't know. But like that was not over a particular region until you get to state era. They don't have that like conception of like beyond that until after cities come first. First they have an idea of the cities, these big like hubs where a bunch of the people are, main streets, commerce, farmers trading their wares, and then like that commerce produces enough wealth that you get centers of authorities. So the city's often seats of power, older than a state or country, which has, shifted. It hasn't always been a state or a country. Sometimes kingdom or land or regions or realms. All of these are vaguer terms. Like city has been kind of stable as a term as far back as we've been using it. State and country have shifted a bit as we've defined the right of states or monarchies to exist more recently, historically. So, like, it is a fun question. Does a state have a right to exist? Before you ask whether a state has a right to exist, you got to say, what is the state? City's a little easier. Like, you can really isolate the regions geographically of a city. State, the borders are going to shift. Their names are going to change. Their languages will change. Sometimes they'll end up on a different part of the globe. You'll get a New York and a New Jersey. States are tricky.
Yeah, I think the states are actually just like the similar to a city, but just larger, right? Before that, they were more so empires, and empire, at least in the Western sense, the empires decided to isolate themselves instead of spilling out and spreading and creating conflict with each other. They decided to create a more clearly defined border structure to encapsulate their territory and their power and their legal structure and their municipality.
Yeah, and I think, at least, that the concept of city and state are contrasting from each other. They're both different conceptions of the development. I think city is a little bit biological and organic, the harmonizing of the people, and then that results in a general kind of domination over the regions nearby beyond the actual, like even if you were to define these exact borders of, say, London, you're still going to say, beyond that, this thing is having an effect on it. And you're going to say that there's some broader notion. And the state, in my opinion, is a bit of a reaction from the broader region saying, we're encompassing this city in this broader bubble so that we can have like a voice from the rural or suburban perspective. That it not just be like sort of a black hole sucking into the city, which we've seen happen in different places. So I think city and state exist in balance.
If your neighbor has guns, rockets, machine guns, grenades, and they constantly kill you with them, well, guess what the military does? They go across the border and they kill the killers. And guys like Honey, I hate to say it, but you could be
That sounds like a candidate for U.S. Congress.
She doesn't have a problem with people like shooting and killing people as long as it's her people doing it right.
See, in our world, or clown world, it's called security, or safety. When violent terrorists try to kill you, you kill them first. That's called common sense.
He's right about this, though. You don't have to cut him off. He's right. And what's weird is that when somebody says genocide, I say, okay, what's your definition? The intent to wipe out a people. So I say, well, Hamas put it in writing, and then they did it. Then they leave the room. Because the facts are right in their face, and they're just indisputable. And I'm sorry about Denise, Scott, but again, if you have a spin and somebody counters your spin, and that makes them uncomfortable, then they leave. I mean, yes, Trump has many bad things. He's clumsy, he's petulant, he's vengeful, he's egotistical, he puts his name on things. It's weird. But he's doing things that needed to be done, and apparently the system that we had in place was not able or willing to do those things. Things like telling NATO you're going to have to pay your fair share. Things like exercising American military force against our adversary, China. The war in Iran is a war against China's proxy. The Islamic Revolutionary Genocide Corps is China's proxy. And we had to give them a big kibosh because China is watching us to see what they're going to do about the Strait of Hormuz, the Strait of Taiwan. That's what this is all about. And it's hard for some people to think, Hormuz. Yes, Iran has tried to close Hormuz before. And like to reduce this war to one narrow strait is to miss the bigger picture, which are the nukes. The big picture is the nukes.
Yeah, they seem to be the nukes, but historically, if we look at it, right, what was the at least the wars around the Spanish Inquisition about? They're about a similar thing, about people in the East cutting off the people in the West from trading with the East, right? Or people in, I guess, what they call the Middle East, in the middle of the East and the West, cutting people off from making those trades. It's about power and control of the current world situation. You know, I think the nukes are sort of a side project or issue. Israel is definitely about the nukes because they don't want to be nuked, but definitely about like which side of the world is going to like maintain a dominance and control over it. And when you are possibly going to destroy a collection of people, especially the more powerful people's economy, which I think is what China is planning on doing, at least in the long run, to destroy that of the West or America's economy and the petrodollar, then the consequences are going to be a retaliation.
I do want to say, Norm, I don't think that the rationale for the war is as clear as you're making it. I think that now Bill Maher said, couldn't all the reasons that have been given be true to Josh Shapiro? And Shapiro said what he would have done differently is come on the front end and be really clear. And I think the administration has not done that. Now, you could say that's just Trump, right? And he sort of acts first. And I mean, I remember that in the 2016 debates when they were asking Trump about gun rights, and they said, you know, that you have to give people due process, you know, with gun rights. And Trump goes, I think you get the guns and give them their due process later. And that's how he thinks, right? I mean, I don't think he has a conception of what constitutional norms or rights are or what the liberal tradition is. I mean, he's just, no, you could say, as you said, he's a man of action, man of destiny. I mean, you know, yeah, that may be the case, but I don't think he understands traditional.
I agree with you. I mean, if I remember correctly, at one point he said that he's the president, he is the Constitution.
He says crazy stuff. There's no question about it. But the point is that he's doing things that have needed to be done for a long time. We should have done this to Iran a long time ago. We tried to, what's the word I want? I want to make a verb out of diplomat. We tried to diplomatize them out of it. Negotiate. We tried to negotiate them out of it for decades. We did the same thing with North Korea. Jason, I'm glad you're here. We tried to talk North Korea out of having a bomb. It didn't work. And it didn't work with the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide Corps. It ain't working. Meanwhile, I mean, one of the big triggers of this war was the people rising up in January. That was a big thing. And then the fact that all the mullahs were going to be in one place so we could take out the supreme leader. That was a big blow. That was, in a sense, a regime change. Because it's not the same, but by the way, it's no longer, run by a religious leader. Now it's being run by, the Speaker of the Majlis, which is their parliament. So yes, the regime has changed. They're in disarray. They're running around like that. It's just weird that the reasons are so clear. The reasons have always been no nukes. And the fact that people won't accept that is puzzling to me. Like, why can't people say that the reason is no nukes? Everybody knows that that's the case. Why can't people say that, Scott, psychologically?
They constantly say Zionists, murderers, genocide, apartheid, because they have all the negative linguistics, but they fail to understand that if Iran got a bomb and they wiped Israel off the face of the earth, the truth is, these people who say they don't care about Israel. They don't care about the Jews. They would be happy to see the Zionist genocide state obliterated because they themselves are obnoxious, terrible people. That's the truth.
Well, it weaves your argument when you throw in obnoxious, terrible, but what you say is true. Yeah, they
honestly,
want Israel to be attacked.
That strikes me as a really kind of fun movie. I'd like to do a sort of found footage video within like a pro-Palestinian college campus encampment, responding to and witnessing the nuclear detonation of a bomb in Jerusalem by Iran, and then I just want to see the conversation that
That's a good
unfolds.
psychological experiment.
Wouldn't that be a great, found footage from a bunch of, the camera phones that are at the event? Wouldn't that be, fun, Norm?
Dinner with Andre was all about it.
Come on, I'd watch that.
So this is how you set it up, Mick said. So you call them in to do an experiment, right? You say, we're going to test it. And then you say, hang on, breaking news. Hang on, we have to stop the experiment.
You think I do it like a prank on groups of people and I film the results every time? That's pretty smart. I agree with you. That
could be done.
It could be done. You're right. It could straight up be done 100 times.
Okay, I would do this with you.
That would make money, dude.
I would do this with you.
We can sell this. This idea should sell.
This is a great
But this would not really matter to anyone who wasn't already sympathetic to Israel. It wouldn't make any difference. And this is a classic example of these kind of things that people on the pro-Israel side come up with and say that is not persuasive to anyone. Okay, and you guys put a huge amount of effort into stuff that just accomplishes nothing. It just accomplishes nothing. This would accomplish absolutely nothing.
It's just a prank, bro.
But it would accomplish nothing.
It's the same thing with Charlie Kirk's assassination.
It would be damn good television, and I would pay to see it.
Well, politically correct in other rooms on this app after Kirk's assassination, they were gleeful, joyful, dancing, celebrating, screaming with joy. That's the same type of endorphin and dopamine response that would happen if people were informed that Israel was new. That's exactly what...
How long would it be, Mick said? Is he here?
I'm still here, yeah.
What happened to Scott?
You're saying, how long do you process that through the thing? Well, I was...
No, how long is the film? Half an hour? 90 minutes? What?
Well, I was thinking it through as a story. Since it would be found footage, it would be roughly 2 hours, roughly.
Wow.
So, meaning you get something 30 minutes before, and then within that 30 minutes you're getting the news and settling down, and then they all hanker in so that we're all just now in a room. I was thinking in terms of a movie, and then the other 90 minutes are just the conversations that develop organically amongst the group. But you're saying let's do it like a prank. We'll leave them locked in a room thinking this is true for 3 hours, 5 hours, send in other ideas, you could poke them. If you're producing it, you can really just play with that.
What you do is you have a group of panelists that hate Israel, and you get them to talk about the conflict for 2 hours, and then you say breaking news: Iran has detonated a nuclear bomb.
Right, that's the fun of it.
And then you take hidden cameras.
So they might expect it, though. If we're already talking about Israel, then they're going to know this is a bit of a trick.
Yeah,
but if you're talking about something else entirely, then it would come as a shock, so they wouldn't be able. Oh yeah, we could say before you go in, people have to turn their phones in. This experiment won't allow for any phones.
That's already suspicious, dude.
It is, but you can come up with a reason for that. There's a task.
Take your phones away.
The's a task or something.
Yeah. You have to think through the trap.
But it's like, how do you get the right people? And that's where I think you got to come up with. I think a taste test is the right way. We're gonna do.
That's funny.
Turkish coffee. It's a Turkish coffee taste test.
That's wonderful.
And so you'll get all these people in there, and you'll get the right kind of people. And the other thing I was thinking is you could do something that's like definitely going to bring you college students, or definitely going to bring you Democratic Socialists of America, right? Like, what'll bring you DSA party member?
Actually, I think the World Affairs Forum with Amir is actually already the movie that you're looking for. And I film it every single evening on YouTube.
You film that room every evening? Alistair?
Not every, but for a while I was, but it's just, it's so boring, essentially. But he holds, he's at, what is it, day 59 or something? He holds the show.
And what do they say about the war? They're against it or for it?
Don't listen to it anymore. I've out-processed. I'm simply in the recording industry. I don't listen to anything. I just simply record. And
You're just a technician. You're an engineer.
I'm a producer, engineer. Understand is why people come in so hot on Trump and say he's a pederast and a cannibal. I mean, are they completely delusional? Like, have you seen any evidence to suggest that he was involved in any of this type of activity? I have not. Defamation against our great president.
And Norma, are you familiar with the prophecy that the current Pope is the last Pope? The 112th Pope. Are you familiar with this?
I feel like I've heard it.
Yeah. So the whole idea is Israel got independent in 1948. But it's only until 1993 there is official recognition of Israel by the Vatican Pope. Are you familiar with this? Are you familiar with this?
I've heard it.
So that means the entire Catholic in US, those swing states, they don't recognize Israel.
What 3 states?
I mean, there are certain swing states in US, they are full of Catholic, right? They don't recognize Israel.
That's interesting.
So the whole idea is this thing started about 1,900 years ago, and this is a blind spot for Jewish because you're not supposed to understand anything of the New Testament and what is going on there. So you have no idea why this hostility toward you, right? So the question now is, according to the prophecy, which is around 1,000 years ago, there's this Irish bishop. He has the gift, and he basically predicted 112 Pope, the name. And according to my investigation, many believe they are quite accurate. And usually for the first 111, it's just a couple of words. But the last one is a paragraph. And that describes the current Pope Francis. And so the problem with Pope Francis right now is whether he accepts that prophecy, that means he's the last Pope. That means that is the end of Vatican. Once is gone. So that is one way of thinking of it. And because he's the last pope, the paragraph say correctly, he's the end time pope. That means he has to accept the fact that during this time there is a lot of tribulation. Because there's a lot of tribulation means there's a lot of earthquake. That means today we just saw Japan get another 7.5 earthquake with a potential tsunami. And they have already registered about close to 1 meter tsunami. Yeah. But and then there are war, right? And we already seen the war, Ukraine war, Middle East war, and so on. So all these are signs of tribulation. And Pope Francis should accept this truth. This is the end time, and it's not the time to preach about peace. You should only preach about peace after the end time, right? And therefore, we have a prediction here, right? He's going around talking about peace in denial that he's the last pope and it is tribulation. His job is to help people to prepare, the believer to prepare for the end time, and which he's not doing enough. Actually, many churches are failing, right? And so very behind schedule, and everything is written in the New Testament. Obviously, if you are Jews, you reject all this stuff, and therefore it's a blind spot for the Jews not to have a better preparation for the current end time. And therefore you don't understand why they are, Tucker Carlson and all these Catholic, yeah, that is they are brought up in this lack of understanding. Israel is not a physical Israel, and therefore they reject the physical Israel. So it's only 1993 officially they recognize physical Israel, but only until the German Pope Benedict in 2003 he started the whole process of talking about fulfillment framework. That means Israel is fulfillment, and it's a direct challenge to many people. I think it could be Scott as well. They are practicing replacement theology, and that has been going on for 1,900 plus years.
Hang on 1 second, Dave. I think I find your theories fascinating, but I'm worried that other people may struggle with them because it's a lot to take in. So let me
slowly. Yeah, ask question then.
Yeah, let me put a pause in it for a second. I'm just going to mute you up. I just want to say, does anybody else want to come up to the stage and share their reactions? Number one, do you think that Trump should resign? Number two, do you think that resigning would redeem him? Number three, if you think Trump should resign, why do you think he should resign? Again, you have to look at it from his point of view because it would have to be obviously his decision. All right. Meanwhile,
Norma, I'd like to answer that.
Okay, good.
And I want to actually make a prediction.
All right, sounds good. Take it away, Randy.
I'm going to predict that Trump will not resign.
You're really sticking your neck out there. Could you want to give us a little more?
Well, A, it's a gut. It's just my gut. And B, I think that resignation, one thing we know about Trump is that he's not a quitter. He's just not a quitter. And I think he's kind of, there's a lot of different views out there about this war. But I don't believe that, I think this war, the current war, and I've had people say, hey, it's not a war, it's just something, it's something else, because only Congress can declare war. Yeah. But no, I'm going to call it a war. And he does care about his legacy. He does. To the point where I think that we hear rumors of like, one of the Trump children even getting into politics, or one or more of them getting into politics. So I think he does care about his legacy. I do think that he would love to tidy up this conflict. He'd love to tie it up with a bow, and, his idea of a successful war is what happened in Venezuela. They got somebody out, no soldiers died, or no Americans died, and regime change, or he'll call it regime change. That's his idea of a good war. Iran has turned into Iran has turned into a much bigger mess than he imagined, but I don't think he wants his legacy to be a failed war, because Iran, they're not the kind of people where you can have a ceasefire with them and then they'll go quietly away. They'll be crowing like, yay, we defeated the USA, we won. So I don't think he wants that. I think he's going to, he's looking for ways to get out of this with as little mess as possible, but I don't believe that resignation is on the list of options for him. I mean,
what if he bombs the hell out of the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide Corps and gets out of there?
We certainly had the mother of all bombs. There's more that could be done.
Mm-hmm.
But he wants to win the minds and hearts of the people, of the American people and the Iranian people. He wants to be the hero, and I think he's carefully calibrating. Sure, listen, look over in Russia, Ukraine. Do I believe that Russia is holding back firepower? They have. Have they really delivered everything they possibly could in Ukraine? No, I'd say no. I think they've held back because they still want to win the minds and hearts of the people. Maybe I'm mixing metaphors, but I think he's carefully calibrating it. That has always been an option. Look, the U.S. has nuclear weapons. No one is really suggesting that we use nuclear weapons on Iran. I don't think Trump wants to be known as the president who did that. The first president in 75 years to use a nuclear weapon. But he doesn't want to lose. But I don't believe that of all the things that are on his list, like all of the outcomes that are being presented to him, I don't believe anyone is presenting him resignation. That he is not a quitter.
Okay, so that was a sort of a spiritual redemption thing. I just want to move it around and make sure. There's a lot of people in the room. Does anybody else want to come up and talk about whether Trump should resign? Why should they resign? What's that, Johnny? Johnny boy? Allahu Akbar?
What he should do is...
Randy. What the fucking guys? He should resign.
Keep my name out of your wife's mouth.
Fucking guys. You know what, Randy?
Keep my name out of your wife's mouth, sir.
Okay, let's not... I don't want to scrape the bottom here.
Okay, listen, here's the thing. I think what Trump should do...
Randy means in Hindi prostitute. Randy?
You seem to like saying my name. Thank you, sir.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, I love that. Please do.
We'd love that.
Okay. It would be great if he would resign, but he doesn't have it in him to resign. He will go down screaming the same way that the Islamic Republic will go down screaming. Neither of the two are willing to give an inch. Neither of the two will resign.
So if Trump resigned, it would be Vance. Would that be better?
I think Vance has more experience, but I don't think it'd be better. I think all three who are in line to become president wouldn't be better. I think we're in a really bad state right now, and I don't know where we're going to go from here. And if Trump uses the nuclear bomb or flattens Iran, the people in Iran are not going to be happy. Right now, we've killed to the top supreme leaders, but now the IRGC is in charge, and they're far worse. Same way as the MEK would be far worse. So we're really in shit right now, in my opinion.
Now, you're maybe the only person this morning, one of the few people, period, who understand that. that previously it was a theocracy, the theocratic layer, that's hard to say, the theocratic layer has sort of been eliminated, right? That was the supreme leader and the mullahs. So now we're in a slightly different position. Could you help us to understand who this Islamic revolutionary, I call them the Genocide Corps rather than the Guard Corps, the IRGC, but could you help us to understand what is this IRGC and why is it even worse than where we were before?
Well, I mean, I don't know for a fact because I don't know exactly. I think Arash would know more, but I think a lot of people in the IRGC are not actually Iranians. Neither were the supreme leaders, but they don't give a shit. None of them give a shit about Iran. They could care less if Iran was bombed to smithereens because they don't care. They don't care about the country. The people do, and the people want this regime to change. They want the supreme leaders gone. They want the IRGC gone. They want their freedom. But I don't know how they're gonna feel if a nuclear bomb is used. I mean, how would we feel, right?
What?
Let's back away from the nuclear bomb because nobody. No, hi, brother. Nobody wants to use a nuclear bomb because that's going to start a nuclear war in the end of the world. So let's say we stop short of that. But we are talking now about escalating. We've moved tons of troops to the region, and Trump is governing under what is known as the madman theory. Maybe you knew this, Hope, which was originally pioneered by the great, and I say that ironically, Richard Milhous Nixon, who Kissinger would go around saying, listen, I don't know about this guy. He's a little crazy. He'll do anything. Which is why we've moved all those troops to the region, even though the country America really doesn't want to see troops on the ground. But, you know, the idea is, well, Trump will do it anyway. It's his last term. And Trump is capable of escalating the devastation on... One second, brother. Trump is capable of escalating the devastation on Iran. Do you think we should escalate, Hope?
I mean, I think the only way we can get rid of the people that are there now in charge is to have troops on the ground. I don't think bombing the country is the way to go.
All right, now hang on, because Kaz wanted to speak, if that's okay. I'll just move it around, because you seem to have something... I know I put you on the spot, too, which I apologize for. Kaz, what do you have to contribute?
Should Trump resign? Why would the greatest president in America in history resign? That's one. What's the He's a third term, you know, if he says it, I believe it, you know what I'm saying? And three, the 2020 election was rigged, and, you know, they're about to do something about that, you know?
So, Kaz, you love Trump, in short.
Yeah, I fuck with Trump.
Well, and now, is it fair to say, may I be so presumptuous as that you might be an American black man?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Zeigazun. And tell us, like, why, as an American black man, you love this guy?
Because I'm not just like most dumbass, stupid-ass black people that don't know shit, that just want to be a victim all day. And I was born in Haiti, so I don't think all these vaccines, they ain't shoot my mother up with all these vaccines clogging my brain, judgment and shit. But yeah, I fuck with Trump because I see the good shit he's doing. I'm logical, so I resonate with logical people. Like, why wouldn't you need an ID to fucking vote? Like, what sense does that make, you know? If somebody doesn't like that, then those people probably cheat and try to cheat during the elections. Why would anybody like closing the borders or, you know, just doing what we need to do? Fixing Obama's bullshit mess, giving Iran money, giving Iran money and shit with Hillary Clinton's uranium bullshit.
We didn't give Iran money. We gave Iran the money that belonged to Iran. It didn't go to the people. It went to the government, but it's the money that actually belongs to the Iranian country.
Here's the thing, right? It's hard to tell. People love to say that it belongs to Iran. Like, bro, it's like that's the most. It's a lot.
Dude, I'm Iranian. That money belonged to the country. It belonged to the people.
Listen, bro. If I have money, if I have money, right, and I owe you money, and you're talking about you're gonna kill me, right? It wouldn't be best to give you the money, you know? One, and plus the thing you don't understand about this deal is these people got funded by the
money. So they paid Iran money, and Iran just paid it back under the table just to pay corrupt government politicians, bro. Y'all don't know what's really going on, man.
You know what's really going on?
Yes, because
I don't know. You don't seem to be able to speak very eloquently. I don't know.
I'm just distracted right now, but if you think that if you think what's going on a surface level is what's actually going on, you're somebody we call sheep. You know, you guys believe in surface level. You guys always believe in the story you're being told, but have no discernment to understand what's actually going on. And I really, you people should start of politics, because when people argue with you guys take something like, oh, it's a
you people, do you mean white people?
No, just it doesn't matter the race, bro. I'm not talking about race, bro. It don't matter the race. It's anybody that, for example, we owed Iran that money. You have to be a dumbass.
We didn't owe them the money.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That means we owed them the money. That means we owed them the money.
No,
so what are you correct?
No, it might have belonged to them.
So that means we owe you the money. That means we owe you the money. If you want to play semantics, we can stick on this point. That means I owe it to you. If it belongs to you, I owe you that money. That's what that means. We speak English, don't we?
I speak English much better than you do.
See, you're in competition with me. I'm not in competition with you.
All right, let's keep it really friendly and courteous.
Right, like she's just, like I hate.
No, I mean to everybody.
I hate
my
women on
friends.
Clubhouse, bro. I hate women on Clubhouse because Hope needs some more fucking hope. Because I hate women on Clubhouse because they're always feminists and they always think that.
I'm not a feminist.
They always think that we always have to be in competition. Like
let's talk about Iran. Let's talk about Iran.
She's talking about we're talking about Iran, but your friend Hope keeps talking about the way I speak and how she's better at speaking.
All right,
nobody gives a fuck.
Please don't do that. Let's be
nice. Be mature. But these people always think the surface level shit is what's actually going on because they have no discernment and judgment to actually figure out why these things are happening, why Trump says the thing he says, why does Trump joke around about Obama and Hillary Clinton being arrested, why does Trump always criticize the deal Obama made with Iran, why, and they think that everything, they think they're told everything. You guys are not told everything because you guys are idiots. So you guys have to believe the surface level shit.
Kaz, have you been told something that we don't know?
I've done my research on things that I know are facts. Yeah, I know a lot of things that people, I wouldn't say you don't know, you just don't want to believe because the government didn't tell you themselves, right? Or there's not a .org link behind it, you know? So there's a different type of people out here. You know, some people just need that .org or they need to hear from CNN and they don't understand when they're being lied to. I can't argue with people that don't understand they're being lied to.
I'm Iranian and I grew up in politics. I'm Iranian and I grew up in politics, so I think I know much more than you do.
Yeah. See, people that grew up in politics, I don't know what analogy to use. It's just y'all don't know what's really going on because you guys are getting lied to by the people that are right next to you. You know, they're not telling you what's going on. They look at you like sheep.
But they tell you. They tell you.
No, the information is out there for anybody that wants it.
Okay, Hope, he has an opinion, you know that, right? Like, it's his opinion, Hope. I mean, you don't have to actually attack him.
What the fuck
I didn't attack him.
Yeah, you, bro, I could read your tone. You're getting upset over my
I'm not upset at all. I'm just saying, you're saying we're all idiots. I'm sorry.
You're an idiot, because you want to attack my point. You want to attack my point, so you're
okay, let's not do that, guys. That's very low level. Let's go high level now. I want to move the mic around a little bit. NPC, non-playable. And Kaz, thank you for your contribution. Hope, thank you as well. But let's have no infighting, you children, or I'm going to have to stop the car. Don't make me stop this car. All right. Non-playable character.
We're all on the same team here. That's what I'm
right. Jennifer, I wasn't attacking her first.
Okay, Kaz, I know that. All right, NPC, non-playable character. Would you like to weigh in, sir?
Jumo, I am so surprised.
Jumo?
Yeah, I was called that.
I don't like that, though. Why didn't you call me by my name? Why you call me out my name?
You stupid.
Why you call me out my name?
Your black accent. Your black accent is so. It's actually offensive how not black. Because you don't even sound black.
But I'm not black. Why would I sound black?
Anyway, I'm offended on behalf of Trump
because all Trump did is listen to you and your people. He's controlled by you and your people. That's all. And now
Who's you in this conversation? He's controlled by me?
Yes.
I want $1 billion. Give me money, Trump.
You already have $1 billion.
Hallelujah. Okay, I want another.
So tell me why you have an issue with him, because if the Jews have an issue with him, then who? Then who? If the Jews have an issue with him, then who doesn't? Like, he's been doing everything for y'all.
How do we control him, by the way? What's your theory?
My theory?
Yes.
My theory is that Trump probably listens to people who he's close to, and the Zionist lobby is closer to him than shit is to stink. Like, it's just.
How did they get so close?
Conversation about different.
Well, they married his daughter. That's number one. They married his daughter, and then they also gave him money. And they also tried to assassinate him a few times, but.
Everybody. Whoa. So wait, so he likes to do what people who assassinate him tell him to do?
He's afraid of. Donald Trump understands that he's not the most powerful person in the world.
I have a question for you, bro. If the Jews are so powerful, how come 6 million of them were killed? I mean, 6 million. How do you reconcile that?
That didn't happen, bro.
I don't think the number was that high.
It was not that high.
What do you think? 5 million?
But what? Couple hundred thousand, maybe.
Yeah. But that was one point in time in a certain country, in a certain society.
Did you just about 10 countries?
What you were, and then
it happened in about 10 countries, just so you know. You know, the Holocaust happened across not just one country: Poland, Russia, Germany, France, Romania, Hungary.
If you believe that,
Jews were killed all over the place. It wasn't just one country. You know, you come here, you got to know your history if you want to fuck with us.
All right. If you drop out of school, then you're going to be at a disadvantage in this conversation. Let's move it around. Jason, did you want to raise?
It reminds me of Kanye said slavery was a choice. I disagree. I don't think it was a choice.
Look at this.
I think it's.
You see how it's easy?
It's worth pointing out that the Jews bounced back after that happened, and they took over again, and are still.
The population is still worldwide not at the level that it was in 1930.
No, I mean that's true. That's true.
The population is less today. Palestinians went from 500,000 to 5 million.
I mean, they bounced back to controlling the world again, right?
Did they?
Yeah.
Really?
The world.
The world? Not even the U.S. You're going to say the whole world now.
We use a Ouija board, Randy.
Yeah.
Wow.
We use a Ouija board to control the world.
Well, you think people would be embarrassed by to say these things, but they say them?
Randy, he's being
Oh, screw it. All right, I don't know anymore. What do I know? I'm trying to work, and here I am getting distracted by this stuff.
Bro, normal.
Kaz, if you don't think the Holocaust happened, I really encourage you to go to a library today. Go to the history section and find a picture book. It's in the pictures. It's fully documented.
So this is the problem.
Yeah, why do you think Germany has been paying reparations, or did pay reparations?
Oh my God!
Speaking of reparations, where's my money?
You guys don't understand nothing, bro. You guys don't even know how World War II started, bro.
We want reparations.
Okay, how did it start?
Nothing about World War II.
How did it start?
Under Pharaoh.
So basically, right?
Let's say Iran. Let's say Iran.
The Soviet Union massacred a whole bunch of Polish people and blamed it on Germany. Germany was the one that reported that shit. Then the U.S. just didn't believe Germany, and then they made propaganda that they blamed Germany when Germany's the person that reported it to everybody. They're like, damn, they murdered all these Polish people. Germany reported it. That's called the United States blamed it on Germany. That's why years later, the Soviet Union, they admitted to doing that massacre.
Let's get back to Iran.
Yeah, but let's get back to it. But basically, bro.
All right.
Trump knows what he's doing. These people don't know what the fuck they talking about. And you can't say because he's helping all Jewish people are bad, but the bad people are Jewish, but not all of them are bad.
Yes, the cause of all the world's problems are the Jews, essentially.
What about New York Times?
Every Jew is responsible.
So, in fact, I stubbed my toe yesterday, and I'm pretty sure it was the fault of a Jew. And it still hurts, by the way, and I want reparations for that. All right, Al, what do you have to do? How would you like to weigh in, Al?
Al, you do. You just skipped over me.
Oh, I didn't see you. You can go next. Elle, do you want to go? Or you want Tada to go first, Elle?
I would love to hear Tada go first.
All right, there you go.
This is some highbrow conversation.
Yes.
Okay, so to answer the question, should Trump resign to be redeemed?
Yes, thank you for getting us back to the topic.
You're welcome. I don't think there's any redemption for Trump. I think that Trump has great ideas, but does not have a plan for completion. Even if we start with the tariffs, if you're going to tax the imports, prior to doing that, you should probably build up the infrastructure so that the American consumer doesn't feel the wrath of your tariffs, pretty much. So
brilliant. What was your major?
Psychology.
Very brilliant. One of the most brilliant analyses I've heard on Clubhouse. Period. Keep going, please. You're welcome.
As far as the war in Iran, I just think, again, it's just an uncompleted plan. I think what needs to happen is it should have been like years. People knew that if you were to attack Iran, you would have to deal with the Strait of Hormuz. That was just part of it. So, I don't know what could have been done, but I just know that there needed to be a better strategy. And the only thing that I would have to say is that if Israel and America are allies, they both have to be on the same page. And from what Marco Rubio said, that the only reason why they attacked is because Israel was going to attack. So before they got attacked back, they attacked Iran. Whatever the PR campaign is terrible, and it's making the American people really distrustful. And when you lose people, you lose those who are going to put the people in power to move forward with your agenda. So I just think that there's no redemption for Trump. He just needs to rethink his strategy.
Well, I want to clarify something about Rubio. I mean, Trump, Rubio, and the Minister of War, Pete Hegseth, said during the negotiations before the war that there were 4 demands that the U.S. was making, and that was no nukes, no ballistic missiles, no terrorist sponsorship, and no attacking your own people. Those, like, you could call them the 4 no's. And as a person with a larger than average nose, I like that designation, the 4 no's. And then when somebody said to Rubio, as he was sort of in transit getting off a plane, why now? He said, well, I mean, Israel and the U.S. were sharing intelligence, and Israel thought this was an opportune time, and that if Iran responded, they'd hit American bases, so it would be better if we do it at this time. And U.S. bought that argument because we share intelligence. So the idea that Israel dragged us, and I think is sort of a misunderstanding of what Rubio said, but the reasons for the war start with no nukes, clear all along. We've been working on no nukes in Iran for decades, really, and proven themselves to be unreliable in diplomatic solution to this problem. Same way, as somebody said yesterday, one of the admirals, North Korea also was incapable of negotiating about not getting nuclear weapons. So, I mean, I think nuclear non-proliferation, I think, is essential here. Somebody else pointed out yesterday, by the way, which I did not know, that Pakistan had obtained a nuclear weapon illegally, which I did not know. So they're known as a nuclear proliferate. So, and somebody pointed out the irony, and by the way, I think there's negotiations in Islamabad today or tomorrow that it's a nuclear proliferator and a terror state are meeting with the United States in Islamabad, in the nuclear proliferator country of this, in Pakistan. So
El,
very interesting. Yeah.
My only pushback is, again, because the PR, it has been all over the place, the messaging, just the American government, when it comes to saying one thing and meaning something else, they're good for that. So you've lost the trust of the American people. When we were back in June and Trump said we obliterated the whole system, and you put us under the impression that they don't have the ability to build nuclear weapons because you took everything out. and that's what was told. But now we're a year later and you're doing the exact same thing. So again,
So,
you can't really be trusted.
Isn't it fair to say that they're rebuilding, or that we didn't get all of it? I mean, do we have to be so literal?
Because there's some reports that said that there's some reports that people are saying, and again, this is what's in the news. Some people are saying the CIA said that they didn't have the capability. Some people are saying that they do have the capability. It's just been all over the place when it comes to who to listen to.
Tada, what's their goal? Their goal is to get a nuclear bomb and deliver it with a ballistic missile. That's their goal. That's their security package. Tada. You're looking at it from an American perspective. Look at it from their strategy perspective, and you'll understand why America's doing what it's doing.
Alistair, when North Korea, they didn't do anything with North Korea. They didn't do anything with Pakistan. They haven't done anything with all of these countries that have been going for the same goal. Even if it's considered, but now we don't have beef with North Korea. Everybody is playing nice. So it seems like it's
North Korea.
well, not to the extent.
No, we don't, bro. What are y'all doing? Information?
Not to the
sanctions. I can read you what sanctions.
North Korea is exporting revolution across the world.
Nuclear Iran is a much bigger.
But that's what they told us about. They told us the same thing about Korea.
This is absolutely a different whole ball of wax.
No, they told us the same. I don't know what y'all been listening to, but they told us the exact same thing about North Korea. They said North Korea have a nuclear weapon.
We haven't heard from Elliot.
Can I just comment one thing, Norman?
Comparing North Korea with nuclear weapons in Iran are two different balls of wax. North Korea, quite literally, wants to be left alone. Iran wants to rule, bring the end of time. Do you understand the difference? We're talking about religious fanatic. They will murder 40,000 of their own people in weeks to this end. It is not the same. They want to be left alone.
I don't disagree with you on this, on some of the urgency. I think, which is all the more reason the messaging is important, because I think in an America that is war-weary from Afghanistan and Iraq and is much more skeptical, I think had something like this happened after Iraq won, you wouldn't see nearly the pushback, right? Because after Iraq won, I think America felt really capable in its ability to exert its military dominance in a way that didn't require massive boots on the ground, that wasn't quagmirish. I think after the debacles in Afghanistan and Iraq, the second Iraq, I think to get the American people behind stuff like this, and when you look at the polling, this is not popular, you've just got to be that much better at messaging. And maybe you shouldn't have to be, right? Maybe people should be less emotional. Maybe they should have more rational memories, but we don't, right? And so I think this is what the limits of Trump are. And as Norma said, he's maybe the man of destiny and things, but when you message poorly, when the reason constantly changes, it doesn't seem urgent. It seems chaotic. And I think that the administration has some responsibility for that, to clearly communicate and rally the populace that's, again, really skeptical of intervention. And part of the reason Trump was elected was because he ran as the guy that was not an interventionist, right? Twice. And so and he can change it.
Iran has always been on his radar, in particular, and every administration before him.
I'm not denying that.
This is brand new. That's the trouble.
You've got to be persuasive, and he's not persuasive, and that's part of.
I also think there is a faction of people that, he could end cancer, and it wouldn't be good enough. I really do.
Sure, but the poll numbers.
But Iran has always been our enemy.
I'm not denying it. I'm not denying any of that. But I'm saying that if this is something urgent, and you're committing possibly the lives of Americans, you've got to be persuasive. And it sucks that because of other things you say, it's harder for you to be persuasive. And it sucks that you've got to be persuasive on something in a context.
And not rely on people coming to their own fucking senses. Honestly,
that's how I feel. There's no words of persuasion that can bring up people to go to another city to go kill large groups of other people. There's no way to persuade people to do that, but that's what leaders do. That's what presidents do. That's why he was elected. He is the solution to a lot of problems. He is strength embodied in his philosophy. And the truth is, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and a lot of people just don't like reality. Hate to tell you the facts of life.
Wait, can we put away the couscous? Like, what in the Sam Hell is going on here? First of all, there isn't any way. Americans are dumb, but they're not like. They can still breathe and they still go outside and they still. Well, let me land with the idea.
I want you to go on for. I just want to mention you made a Marvel Comics reference, wanting to Sam Hill, and I think that's very cute. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, you guys know media. That was pretty.
I'm the only one who got that, but go on, and I take credit for that.
So what we're saying is that it seems, and I've been watching you guys ever since we used those B-2 bombers and we used the bunker busters. I thought after we used the bunker busters, I thought that after we used the bunker busters, you guys would be happy. But no, after we used the bunker busters, I went into y'all's rooms and y'all were talking about regime change. I was like, what the fuck?
Because regime.
So now so I'm listening to y'all and you're talking about messaging. What I've understood messaging to actually mean in this climate is, what lie do I need to tell to convince people to do the thing that's not in their best? What lie? How do we lie to make people? There's no lie that you can tell the American people to justify a war that fucks up. There's no lie that you can tell the American people that are going to make the American people, both Republican and Democratic Independent, okay with increased energy prices for things that don't benefit them. There isn't any type of messaging that you can use that's going, because Iran isn't close to a nuclear weapon. So what excuse are we going to use now? What excuse are we going to use to fuck up the world's economy? What excuse?
According to who?
According to reality.
No, according to who?
Americans are not going to believe lies so that we can justify fucking up the economy because Israel wants to do stuff like it does with Israel.
You are nobody. You're making up.
Hold on, Trump is in a position of power though, right?
So I think Elf and Headset and Marco Rubio, they all say the same end time. Crazy religious, but nobody here understands what they mean, right? This is the
like
missing
Americans,
message.
not like crazy.
This is the missing messages. Why? Because to understand that, it requires a lot of understanding, which the media failed to deliver. Both sides, Fox News and the Democratic side. Nobody talk about this. This crazy religious ideology that distinguish North Korea and Pakistan Murrah regime. Point. Period. So whenever you talk about nuclear weapon and you start dragging in Pakistan, start dragging in North Korea, you fail because Murrah regime is not Pakistan, not North Korea. Since 1979, they only have one mission: to drag the whole world into chaos. And that's what they have been doing. And Fox News fails to deliver that, and Democratic media refuse to talk about that. That would mean their entire political correctness will crumble, right? So this is where we have to address.
Interesting. Does anybody want to respond to Dave? Dave is saying that the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide Corps, who declared war on us in 1979, took over our embassy, has been trying to drag us into war from the very beginning in order to, and I will add to this, Dave, in order to bring about the 12th Mahdi, which is like a messiah, who is the hidden imam. Does anybody want to respond to that?
They don't even know what you're talking about, but they want to respond. They don't. That's the problem. And maybe that's the messaging problem we're having, is that we think like having an ideology that will literally destroy the world, because that's what you believe will bring about this religious. Americans are trying to be rationalized. They don't want nuclear weapons. They're not trying to do this bullshit shit. Listen to their own words. They're not lying to you.
They admit to having 60% enriched uranium. Outside reporting agencies say they have 60% enriched uranium. Now we want to get on as Americans and be like, no, they don't. According to what? Your own fantasy?
No, but we got, okay, so I am an imperialist as well. I agree with what you're saying, but the issue is that you're so biased you don't even realize that you're lying. That's how. But that's what the fuck are you even talking about? Let me tell you the manipulation that you're undergoing. But you think you're.
So do you think their own words are lying?
No, you're not. No, the thing is that you're actually.
You literally don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. But can I disagree? Hang on.
Wait, both of you, hang on. Let's not make it about the person. Let's make it about the content of the argument, okay?
I think that I'm speaking towards the argument. I don't know this lady.
Do you understand their
theology? What she's saying, there's no narrative where what she's saying.
Do you understand theology?
Can I tell you why I disagree? Queen, can I tell you why I disagree?
That's a yes or no.
It's not a yes or no.
It really is. Do you understand what their motivation is?
I just want to be able to tell you the reason why I disagree. And then after I tell you the reason why I disagree with what you said and why I feel like what you said is manipulation and it's not even coherent based on a mainstream. All right. So a year and some change ago, I'm saying the reason why I disagree. I just want to be able to land facts over feelings. A year ago and some change, they said that they were enriching uranium. I think that they were enriching uranium. There was other evidence that they were enriching uranium. To don't make sense if you're using it for civilian cases. Like if you're enriching up to